soil, a dynamic ecosystem and a crucial function of complex ecosystems all around the world. It has the potential to feed humanity, filter water, to reduce our planet's temperature, and to provide essential nutrients to forests and crops.
It is precious to all life on Earth, but it is a non-renewable natural resource exploited by human activities. Despite its crucial role in food production, an increase in agricultural activities and land use is negatively affecting the soil quality. An increase in global food demand has led to the conversion of forests and grasslands into farmlands and pastures.
The fact is that we've lost half of our planet's topsoil during the last 150 years. What does it really mean? And why should we care about the soil?
What is soil? Jesus Christ. What the fuck kind of question is that? You're gonna ask me all these like intrinsic ass questions?
What is
Soil is the ground.
It's dirt.
The substrate from which living organisms grow out of.
Soil is the thing under the ground. What is it?
One of the main resources on Earth is that make us able to cultivate, to do agriculture. Also, there's a whole biodiversity.
Naturally occurring stuff that occurs in the ground.
Dirt. The resource for agriculture.
It depends on what lens you look at it from, because you can argue that certain soil types are better for certain plants. You can say that soil can be contaminated and polluted from different factors. So if you look at it from different lenses and how that soil is being affected by humans, then it'll impact climate change on a greater scale.
Renewable.
Renewable, you should take care of it.
Okay.
So, I mean, like doing some, in French we say jachère. I don't know what it means, like to let the soil rest for a little bit and not like over exploiting it. So if you do that correctly, then it should be renewable.
It is renewable?
Soil is renewable resource.
It is renewable if you treat it right.
I think it's renewable.
It takes
It
time.
can be renewable.
It
Yeah.
takes time to get renewed.
What causes erosion? I'm not sure.
Water, like, I mean, just the natural flow of water, like the rain and the rivers, and yeah, just water.
Rainstorms and tempests.
Wind.
There are many reasons for that. I think there are many causes. The first one I can think of is the river that can cause soil erosion, close to like the bank, and also the rains that can also cause erosion.
This is a question I don't know the answer to exactly.
Erosion in the ground, isn't that tectonic plates?
Climate change.
Well, I feel like that's a really deep. You could write a whole thesis on that.
Well, soil is dirt, and dirt is what makes our food. And we need food to live, and we need to live to be able to solve the problems of climate change.
We would basically be able to feed everyone without polluting so much. Just, I don't know, keep it like clean and safe.
The soil. Oh my gosh, it's just weird.
It can be revolutionary.
I think that soil is the basis of every living organism that's not human or.
Soil is healthy. We can grow more food.
The truth is, we cannot survive without healthy soil. Soil brings economic prosperity and food security. It has the ability to bring communities out of poverty and to create economic development. Healthy soil not only feeds us, it feeds all forms of life. It heals the health of the earth by sequestering carbon, which can reduce greenhouse gases and mitigate climate change.
The Green Revolution, also known as industrial agriculture, was driven by the desire to increase food productivity and profitability. Increased research on crops and gene modification led to high-yielding crop varieties, aimed to feed a growing world population.
The progressive replacement of family farming systems to provide food for urban societies led to specialized monocultural farms, a system that has resulted in soil degradation.
Soil degradation is the loss of the land's production capacity in terms of soil fertility and biodiversity, and is considered to be the most significant environmental problems in developing countries. One of the causes of soil degradation is toxic chemicals used in agriculture. Chemicals maximize profits and reduce pests for farmers, but it also alters the health of the soil by killing crucial bacteria and organisms binding the soil together.
Tilling is another procedure used to loosen and remove plant matter covering the soil, leaving it bare, killing natural components and reducing soil quality. It may cultivate the land in order to raise crops, but it also breaks up natural symbiotic networks in the soil.
Monocropping eliminates ground cover crops and all natural protection against soil erosion caused by wind and rain, and this reduces the biodiversity in the soil. The method of planting the same crops at the same place year after year kills the nutrients in the soil and leaves it weakened, which is unsustainable for healthy plant growth. The chain reaction of this process forces farmers to use chemical fertilizers in order to promote plant growth.
Overgrazing is when large livestock are allowed to walk on the same location for a long period of time, resulting in native plants being unable to grow. As the native plants die, the ground becomes firm and compact, making it harder for native vegetation to grow.
Trees help the land to retain water and topsoil, which provides rich nutrients crucial to sustaining additional forest life. The soil erodes and washes away without forests, causing farmers to leave the location and perpetuate the cycle.
Soil degradation happens in 5 stages, starting with erosion and ending with desertification. Erosion, which is the movement of topsoil by wind and water, is one of the most frequent processes in the world. The process is enhanced by industrial agriculture due to many plants such as coffee, cotton, palm oil, soybean, and wheat not being able to hold on to the soil. This has severe consequences for the ecosystem as the topsoil is the richest in nutrients and the soil loses its ability to maintain itself. Soil erosion leads to less fertile land, increased pollution and sedimentation in streams and rivers, clogging waterways and worsening floods. This in turn impacts the population of fish and other species.
The second level of soil degradation is physical degradation, with a series of microprocesses altering the porous, free space of the soil. The porous, free space is crucial for root development and water and air movement. These microprocesses are unfortunately often explained as natural, failing to take improper land use and management into consideration.
Biological degradation is the loss of diversity and organic matter in the soil, which impacts the overall function. These functions include transformation, recycling, and subsequent assimilation of nutrients by plants. Also, the minerals in the soil actively promote the transfer of rainwater and irrigation.
Biological degradation is linked to chemical degradation, which occurs under extreme conditions such as the depletion of organic matter. Soil pollution is a chemical degradation process associated with water pollution and poor use and management of agricultural inputs and waste.
Desertification is the last level in the process of soil degradation. It is a multi-causal process caused by human activities and it affects the ecosystem. This happens when human activities fail to take environmental fragility into account, which ends up in the decline of crop yields. The process is triggered by the elimination of plant coverage, uncontrolled clearing, soil exploitation, and droughts. This process of soil degradation, in turn, leads to food insecurity, increased sedimentation, worsened floodings, damaged water cycles, increased pollution, and economic crisis.
Soil is a crucial component for all life on Earth. It is the future of our planet and is in our hands. Current human activities such as industrial agriculture have huge impacts on soil quality, but we have the possibility to change this. We need to start working with nature rather than against it.
The key to high soil quality is the understanding of sustainable agriculture based on regeneration and agroecology. Agroecology is farming in a way that mimics natural ecosystems and promotes on-farm diversity without the use of synthetic chemical inputs.
But remember, there's no one-size-fits-all solution to implementation of agroecology. The global implementation of regenerative agriculture will take different forms as agriculture needs to be based on the local characteristics and geography. What suits Kenya may not work in Italy or Malaysia. So, what can you do? We know that the next green revolution demands radical reform, but your individual choices actually matter. You can help the process of being conscious of where your food comes from by empowering small-scale and local farmers. Eat organic. Plant a tree. Know where your food comes from. Make a point to educate yourself, and at the end of the day, show gratitude for the soil. Yo, this one goes out to Yan. Here's a Coca-Cola and field trip cigs. The way we think of soil is no good. Now listen, I'ma break it down so this is understood. Our current relationship is whack. We got pesticides, monocrops, man, the system about to crack. We continue to exploit this resource. All this time I've been thinking that it's coming from a free source. I'm here to tell you that it's not. And there's some things we can do because it's valuable to all of you. The state of the soil is eroded. It's degraded, it's mistreated, and it don't deserve this human beating. Without fertile soil, we are sent into a turmoil. Turmoil. This is why we gotta be loyal. This is why we gotta be loyal to the soil. We got issues most don't even understand. Climate change, poverty, economic quality, but let me tell you, none of this was planned. It dates back to our relationship with the land, the result of the land turning to dust. Which takes 1,000 whole years just to readjust. The sad thing is we don't have time, which is the whole entire reason I've created this rhyme. I know what you're thinking. Our society is shrinking. As our population grows, our vulnerability shows. It's time that we act in a way that may sound abstract. But, hold up. Let's bring it back to the main point that we're trying to impact. Industrial ag is whack. We must regenerate the soil so the earth don't start to boil. We got too much carbon in the air. I know what you're thinking, but like, why should I care? This problem's on a global scale. But if we start planting trees, we can bust ourselves out of jail. If there's anything you learn from this rap, it's that the earth about to cap and it's time that we act.